I'm actually really curious as to why people come to Pai. That was not a good idea. I'm not being negative. I'm just being realistic.
And honest. We're here in Pai and we're super excited. We've heard so many great things about it, but is it going to be that great? We've been here for about an hour and I've already seen 47 people with bare feet and 3 people with shoes on, and all those people on scooters had no helmets. They'd have a lot of bandages on their knees and elbows, so I think they might have come off already.
If you do any research on where to go in Thailand, Pai seems to be the place to be right now. Like, you're a bit of a loser if you don't come to Pai. We noticed that it was within the Mae Hong Son loop itineraries or stops. So we decided to come here and check out what the fuss was all about. There are a lot of hippies. I'm kind of wondering whether there are any actual Thai people living here that do not work in hospitality, and also do they actually live in Pai or do they live in surrounding villages? You either seem to have the two extremes. You have the kids that have come here for a gap year or on their summer holidays and are therefore going to be hippies for that duration
Fake
of time.
hippies for that time.
Yes. Or you see a lot of much older people, like the proper hippies as I would call them, that have probably been hippies in Thailand for the past 20 to 30 years. So as you can probably tell, we're a little bit skeptical about all of this. So let's see if our opinions change by the end of this video. So let me show you where we're staying in Pai. We are staying at the Pai Boutique Resort Hotel, which was recommended to us by our friends Gina and JB as they stayed here a little while ago, and it is so cute. There are loads of cats walking around, there's a pond with carp, there's loads of bamboo, everything is like very outside where you have breakfast and everything. So now come and see our room. So you saw our cute little balcony, but that's not our only seating area. We've got a very funky chair, we've got like a little day bed, we have a very comfortable bed. It is most definitely the softest bed we have had during the last few days when we've been touring, doing the Mae Hong Son loop. I've got to say, actually, we have been quite lucky with our beds, which tend to be quite hard here in Thailand. Cool artwork, plenty of places to put our stuff, the usual kind of mini bar setup, aircon and fan, which I've got to confess have remained turned off. I mean, I don't know what's happening to us. We're very environmentally friendly. And now come and have a look at the bathroom. So you have your standard of a nice hotel, big shower, obviously toilet, basin with plenty of space. And I've got to say, the room always smells amazing because they, after housekeeping have come, they put a little burner with what I'm hoping is repellent oil as well. All I know is that it smells gorgeous and I want to actually buy some and take it with me and drink it and use it in our house. We have been to some big Buddhas in Thailand in our time. So we are spending the day in Pai, and one of the landmarks to see is the big white Buddha. So I think you can talk too.
I was trying to like give some more detail to what you were talking to.
Yeah.
Can walk from Pai town centre, which is where we're staying. It's about 32 minutes. We decided to take a 6-minute ride. It took us 9 minutes because we got lost. But, or I say got lost, we missed our exit. And we did notice that when riding up the hill off the main road to the Big Buddha, there are steps, and there's a lot of steps. I mean, there's a lot of steps behind us already.
350 apparently.
But I think the ones coming up to here will probably, I don't know, maybe double that. So you can walk it, but remember you've got to walk back as well.
We're slightly traumatized. It would have been through the forest. We've done that recently. We don't want to do it again today.
So we decided to ride, and it's got a massive car park. There is toilets as well if you need to.
Come with us and tell us, especially if you've been to the other big Buddhas or you've seen our videos of the other big Buddhas, what do you think of the one in Pai?
And let us know which one is your favourite and which one you have or would visit. And while you're down there leaving a comment, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. 98% of you, 99% of you, if you round it up, are not subscribed. Why? You can also tell us below. Let's go.
This being Thailand and this being essentially a Buddhist temple, I don't know why I said essentially, it is a Buddhist temple. You are required to dress politely, and there are several signs, but there is also a little house to the side which is manned by a few ladies who are sort of guarding the modesty. So when they do see a tourist who is in shorts, they will kind of run after them, because you can rent a skirt or a sarong for 20 baht, which is very helpful if you forgot to wear long trousers or a t-shirt covering your shoulders when you come to the Big Buddha.
And there seems to be no charge to park or to enter here, so definitely worth the visit. And we're going to go explore. Come with us.
As you would expect from vlogs and blogs, they all recommend that you come early morning or early evening because it is open until 6 p.m. to avoid the heat.
It's open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
But you know, we've been feeling a little cold recently because we have been doing the Mae Hong Son loop around northern Thailand. So we thought we'd come at lunchtime
to really heat up and absorb the sun, but it's 24 degrees and in the sun we are now absolutely
feel like
roasting.
35.
Yes, it is very hot. The sun is relentless. There isn't much shade here, but we have had as low as I think 11 or 12 on our trip, and we did get quite cold.
That was not a good idea. So we've done the 350 steps and we're here.
The steps are quite a bit in the sun, but it's definitely worth coming up.
And they're even.
It's really peaceful and quiet. I know people say come up in the morning or the evening, but it's probably the busiest time. We've come up at the peak heat of the day, which is like 24. But the great thing is that it's really quiet and you get some really good photos and a bit of peace, and then just enjoy the beautiful views and surroundings.
So tell me, out of the 3 big Buddhas we've seen, because I'm not counting the big Buddha, the Line Buddha in Bangkok.
Okay.
Samui, Phuket and Pai. What do you think of this one?
I think this is my number 2, so it's Phuket, then
Yes.
here, then Samui. Same for
Yeah,
you?
same for me.
If you would like to see those videos, we're visiting those big Buddhas, we'll put the links in the description below.
I would say that this one seems to be, there's a sign saying that it is in the process of being restored, and we should of course remember that restoration works and the building works are based on donations. I mean, it is pretty impressive in terms of height. It is a little bit neglected, I would say, in terms of the statue of the Buddha. Part of his ear is missing and his fingers, but it is more impressive than the Samui one.
Sarah, that's the oldest one.
But
give it some credit. It gets points for its age.
Yes, and the Phuket one is quite recent, and that is just incredible. So now we're going to walk down the steps back to the centre of Pai for some food.
Some healthy vegetarian food.
Yes.
It's gluten free. I found a great place, so let's go.
Let's go. We have come to Pai Canyon, which, if you look online, is one of the top things to do in Pai.
Ready for the hike? I might have regretted not bringing trainers.
So clearly sunset is going to be very popular. The car park was a good reflection of this. We realised that there's two ways to get up. The short version,
Which we took. What a hike. Kind of steps. Someone must have like carved these out a bit. How you doing back there, Sarah?
Okay.
I don't know if the camera shows. Roots, loose rock everywhere. This is our hike, and I'm wearing my motorbike gear. Regretting my life choices.
And is steep with lots of branches. And then we discovered 3/4 of the way up the walk that there is a path.
I think we took the shortcut because it looks like there's actually a proper path. Coming up to the canyon, drone here already. Oh wow, it's a proper hike. I think the canyon's great. I mean, you see,
It's actually, sorry, it's just not as narrow as I thought it was going to be.
well, it is in some places.
It isn't so, but I thought from the videos that it was all going to be super narrow, and I was like, I'm not going to walk on this thing. But there are quite a few places that are quite wide.
If you don't walk too far, maybe like 100
Yeah.
meters into the canyon, but if you walk further to get to some other, bigger, they end up being bigger, but you have to cross some parts that I would say are maybe 20, 30 centimeters wide, and then it's sheer drop. So it's actually only for one step, but for that one step, it is very, very narrow. So it's a little bit sketchy in some places. It does seem to go on really far back. I saw people hiking. It could be, from what I could see, I would say 1/2 kilometer, but then it carries on, so it's even more. I would like to explore it if I wasn't in biking boots, and it wasn't getting dark as well, because you get somewhere, you sort of come back. And
As far as sunsets go,
I think it looks pretty cool. Sarah's not convinced.
I'm not convinced.
I think it's worth the trip here. It's 15 minutes from the centre of Pai. I think it's worth coming.
I think we've seen better sunsets even just this week. Ban Rak Thai, what an amazing sunset. Mount Batur in Indonesia, sunrise, sunset.
Cambodia sunrise as well.
Cambodia, Angkor Wat sunrise. So it's not like everybody goes on about the sunset. But
For Pai, it's okay, probably. Yeah. For Pai, it's probably the best place to be for sunset. Was it worth coming, Sarah?
I think so. I'm glad we did it. Like, I wouldn't travel to Pai just to go to the canyon. I'm actually not sure at this point where if I would just travel just to be in Pai.
So controversial.
I know. Everybody says,
Pai's amazing.
Yeah, no, travel videos, you've got to be positive all the time. I'm not being negative. I'm just being realistic.
And honest.
Sunset's over, so there is a mad exodus from the canyon. Tonight we are
in Pai Walking Street.
I think
It's really busy and people are having lots of fun.
And-
You smell a lot of weed.
And the street, this is the main streets in the center of Pai village. They close at about 6 o'clock for motorbikes and cars. But
So therefore it
do
turns
they?
into a walking street.
Do they? But I've got to say that actually that's one of the things we found about Pai in these main streets. Doesn't matter whether the street is officially open for vehicles or not, it is impossible to walk, both as a pedestrian and also to ride as a motorbike rider, because there's just barefoot people walking around the middle
And
of
riding
the road.
bikes and barefoot as well.
And riding bikes with limited
Skill.
degrees of skill. So
It's always very
it's
entertaining,
actually- yes.
lots to watch.
Yes, it's very entertaining to watch.
It does get cold here, so do bring your layers when the sun goes down. It does get cold.
I'm actually really curious as to why people come to Pai. Yes, I realize we've also come to Pai, but
We're passing through.
yeah, because it doesn't actually feel that Thai authentic. I haven't actually seen much of the beloved Thai culture that you and I absolutely love to see in other areas of the country. The night markets aren't any different. They're not any better than Bangkok, Chiang Mai.
You said some things were
Samui.
cheaper and some things were more expensive.
Well, yeah, what I find is that actually a lot of the clothes that you see here, you can buy in Chiang Mai as well for a much cheaper price. I do think this is catering for this, I'm going to be really harsh here, for this fake hippie set. I don't know. My view is that it's the vast majority is a lot of drunk white people on holiday pretending to be hippies who don't even know how to say please or thank you in restaurants and other shops. So,
Yes,
yeah.
drunk.
Sarah's honest opinion of Pai.
Drunk and high, definitely. I've seen more drunk people and high people here than I have done in 2 days, or 1.5 days, than I have done in an entire month in Chiang Mai. Our view of Pai is we won't be coming back.
Am I glad that I crossed it off the list? I think it's just reconfirmed what I thought it was going to be like. They do have beautiful views. All the Thai people we've met are super friendly. We've met people doing the loop as well, which has been great. But I would say if you want to see the real Thailand, just give it a miss.
So my thoughts on Pai are, if you're nearby, doing the loop, passing through, do stop for 1 or 2 nights. But I wouldn't personally recommend, making an actual trip here or making it part of your trip. I think there are much more authentic and better places where you can spend your time and money and have a better experience.
Morning from Pai. It's our last morning here. And I thought I would just say that, I don't even know at this stage whether this is going to make the video edit, but I feel I was a little bit harsh yesterday in giving such a mass generalization of the people coming to Pai, because we have met some lovely people here. I think I was just actually really mad because just before we recorded our impressions of Pai, I had seen these, let's just say it like it is, these white male tourists really make fun of this Asian street performer who was just trying his best to earn a living. Seeing that and seeing everybody else sort of gather around and kind of laugh and join in the fun, and just, it made my blood boil. I was just so angry at the disrespect. I don't know, I do still think that there are a lot of people here with a very big sense of entitlement, and I hate it when people don't say the basic please and thank you to those in the hospitality sector, and are just really dismissive. But it's okay because I'm dressed like a hippie and I'm smoking in the street and I'm so cool, too cool for school. So before this turns into another rant, I just wanted to explain, I think, why I had such strong feelings about Pai. But generally, we have had a really lovely time, especially in this hotel, which is, just magical, and the greenery, the scenery, it is beautiful. I think it is not a place we will return to again. I think we've done it, tick it off the list. Glad we did experience it, but I think we're ready to go. I think Pai just We're not one of those people. Eddie tells me there's an expression online about something about getting stuck in the pie hole. I don't think there's any risk of that happening to us. We did have fun, but we are happy to be heading back to Chiang Mai today. We have been to some big...
Sorry, blooper.
The Guardian is sleeping on the job. Mosquito just flew